Okay, there you go. I'm back. Sorry about that. I was gone for quite a while, about an hour. Mind you, it was all instantaneous to you, but not my problem. And what the hell are we doing? That's right. We are going to steal the Eiffel Tower. Not just a replica. We're going to steal the Eiffel Tower. I suppose I have to put that down if I actually want that room destroyed. How is our research going? Nothing being researched right now. Okay, we're going to replace the the strong room now. How are we doing here? Just over a minute and a half left. See, the shrink ray was successfully used to deal with the crime lord, and now the science team has managed to create a portable version that could be attached to a helicopter. Interrupt the Bastille Day celebrations in Paris by shrinking and stealing the Eiffel Tower, then revel in the chaos and national indignation. Now, there's a total of 6 Uberloots in the entire game. You have to steal 4 of them, which I'm holding my 4 fingers up to the camera, which isn't even on right now. Okay, you have to steal 4 of them in order to proceed with the loot and pillage submission. Where are my missions? Here we are. Okay, so we have loot and pillage, and we have master plan machination. To do machination, we have to reach 200 notoriety. And we have to get at least all 3 of one of these. The one you get, in order to, what these are, they're your doomsday devices. You have to get all of any one of them in order to have that device as a possibility for the second island. So you only need one of them, but it's best to try to get all 3. That way you have an option of which one you want to do. And then you have to steal 4 out of the 6 research, 4 out of the 6 Uberloot pieces, and then you'll get another one which says you have to steal $10,000 for 5 consecutive minutes. That one is easy enough to do. So here's Uberloot 1, the Eiffel Tower. Also in Europe, about here, is Excalibur. Are these guys plotting or stealing? No, they're stealing. Let's put them plotting. Over here on the east coast, sorry, is the $1 million bill. I can't remember if it's in Middle East or North Africa, but in I think it's North Africa. There is the mummy sarcophagus, and in Central Russia is the Ark of the Covenant, and in I think it was Southeast Asia. Either that or North China. I think it's Southeast Asia though. No, it is North China. You can get the samurai armor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all of them.
The whole world is aware their activities have become ever more brazen in recent days, but nobody was expecting them to carry out the threat to steal the Eiffel Tower. Eyewitnesses in Paris say what they saw was impossible. They had this big laser on their helicopter. They used it to shrink the tower, then they put it in the helicopter and left. Mon Dieu, I cannot believe it. It is impossible.
Okay. Now, where did they put it? There it is. We're going to want to move that to a lot safer place. because we have to hold all 4 loot items until, well, pretty much until we move to the next island. Go on, get out of there. There we go. Now, you don't have to, but it's actually a better idea to steal all 6 Uberloots, for most of them have very large circle of influences, and as far as you know, all of them do at least 2 stats. This one here does attention and loyalty, which makes it a great addition to your control room in the second island. The mummy sarcophagus is a must get, because it's one of the very few things in the game that actually do health. It actually increases health and loyalty. The Ark of the Covenant is a necessary one for training, because it has a very large circle of influence and does endurance and loyalty, much like this here does. Excalibur is good to put in your laboratory because it does smarts and loyalty. The $1 million bill also does endurance, but what I like about it is you only have one side, or one of the sides is, or the back side here can be up against a wall. Actually, I think these 3 sides can all be up against a wall. Need to send more valets. And that makes it really easy to not have to worry about where to put it, because as long as you have that front available, you know, people can still stand and admire it. So, you know, I could, you know, stick it in a corner somewhere. Let's see. Samurai armor. It's not necessarily the best one. It really only does. Oh yeah. See how it says pay now and $1,000 cash incentive? If I push that, it's going to knock off the ones that aren't going to work. Now, I already used the centrifuge for it, which I was able to unlock this impact stress analyzer. So now we're going to use the impact stress analyzer, because we know that the centrifuge isn't going to give us anything from it. Yeah, the samurai armor has one of the smaller circle of influences, and I think that one might only do loyalty, possibly attention. So if you had to choose one not to get, it would definitely be the samurai armor. It looks a little cool, but it's rather useless. This one here and the Ark of the Covenant are the 2 I always ensure I get. I usually get the $1 million bill and the sarcophagus as well. And what's the other one? Excalibur I like to get, because usually you can find it pretty easily. You often can find it while trying to research the position of the when you're trying to capture the Eiffel Tower. If you have them on plot, they often find it. Not always, but often. Okay, so next we're going to try to find the Ark of the Covenant. So we're going to send 10 here, send him, send 5 of these guys, and that should be enough. Plotting, hiding. Oh, just another small money-making hint that this lets you know is a glitch, so technically doing it is cheating. It's kind of hard to illustrate. Let me find some blank space. Here's how you do it. Say you have a strong room that has a section like this, and then the strong room. And say you have $50,000 in a strong room. If you were to put a door here and a door here, and then blow up this section, this room would become inaccessible, and the gold would immediately be moved to another strong room. However, I found that sometimes if you attempt to, when you do that, it actually still leaves the physical gold in this room, so essentially it doubles your gold as soon as you reopen this room again. So destroy this little bit of strong room here, and then simply just remake it, and all that gold that was moved will stay in the room and you'll double your gold. Once again, that is exploiting a glitch, therefore can be considered a form of cheating. Still 3 minutes. That's not what I want to go here. Now, as I said, the unofficial mod that I'm using does pump my possible capacity up to 150. So I'm going to attempt to not go over 100 with it, but I might accidentally. Tourists. At this point, there's not too much I can do right now. But we're almost ready to move to the second island. Right after we do Master Plan Machination and Loot and Pillage, we'll be ready. Now, one thing we have to do before we move, though, is our first optional objective. There are 4 pieces of totem poles scattered around the world. Collecting all 4 of them and assembling them into the totem pole is an extremely beneficial thing to do. Problem is, for some reason, once you leave the first island, they won't combine anymore. It's some sort of glitch. So you have to do it on the first island. Now, as far as I can remember, the 4 totem pole pieces are in the west coast, in Polynesia, in North Africa, and either in Central Russia or the Eastern Bloc. I think it's Central Russia. And it doesn't really matter which order you get them in. But one thing you should know, I think I've already mentioned this when I was talking about the freezer room, they all have a negative circle of influence. They will negatively affect your minion stats. Does anybody know which way the door is facing on this one? It's on that side. Darn it. Okay. In that case, we're going to destroy this freezer rack. Because right here would be a good place to put them, and maybe over here to put the 4th one. And then we're just going to turn it around and face this way. Now, as I said, the freezer completely eliminates circle of influence within the freezer room. So any loot that you do put in the freezer room will be nullified. If your evil genius stands there, he'll be nullified.
Washington, D.C. is reeling this morning after the theft of $1 million bill from the White House. The bill is not valid tender, but is the only one of its kind to be printed, so the black market value is expected to be extremely high.
Ooh, look at that.
Security experts claim that the vault the bill is stored in is impenetrable. Unconfirmed sources blame the theft on the president, who allegedly took the $1 million bill out to the vault to look at. And
forgot to put it back. Anyway, sorry, as I was saying, when that radio broadcast very rudely interrupted me. Anything in the freezer is nullified, including your evil genius's COI. Free body bags. That's one of the reasons of putting them in there to begin with. The totem poles are a good place, a good thing to put in there. So, just don't put any loot in there. Like, if you watch the base design videos by Bradicus, you'll notice that on one of his islands he has 2 freezer rooms on either side of a piece of corridor. So he had his piece of corridor, then he had a freezer room here and a freezer room here. And he had loot in the corridor. This allowed them to kind of balance out the loyalty and attention loss by the body bags by having a walk-through corridor filled with loot while they're dropping off their body bags. That's a very smart idea. In fact, I've never even thought of that before. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So what were we doing? We were rearranging the racks. Getting ready to steal the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, I know the freezer rack is blocked. You'll have to wait. I'll fix that in a minute. There. Oh, you know what? It's over here because it's a mummy sarcophagus. It's in Egypt. There we go. And this should be the matron. No, that's agents leaving. Where's the matron then? Ah, she's driving by boat. Well, they were better than I thought they would be. That's okay. Okay, 10 seconds left on that one. Then I can move some of the guards over here.
Citizens, Hammer requires your constant vigilance. A good citizen must report any criminal activity or antisocial behavior immediately. The Ark of the Covenant was discovered in the mountains of Afghanistan last week. But the relic has been stolen before it could be shipped back to Moscow. Any information about this matter should be reported to the local Hammer officials. And if you find the Ark yourself, don't open it. Seriously, don't open it.
Now, a little difference between red and yellow alert. Yellow alert is they'll stay basically in a minor alert. They like the alarm themselves, but they'll go along their daily business. Once you set things to red alert, minions will actively, well, they'll alarm themselves if they haven't already, and they'll actively search out things that need to be killed. And it's only on red alert that things such as valets and technicians and stuff will actually attempt to fight. Oops. So, this will be Uberloot 3 and Uberloot 4. There's two sets of soldiers here.
announcement. All Soviet citizens are to remain at high alert until further notice. Hammer cannot risk any more of its valuable citizens being kidnapped by the evil organization. And don't even think about pretending to be kidnapped so that you can defect. We will find out.
Okay, looks like the soldiers are retreating, so I could probably just go ahead and put on yellow alert. I lost my control room amounts. Oh, there we go, we're back. 10 seconds left. Now, I don't care so much about the samurai armor. I'm not going to go for that to save time. I want to see if I can go for, So, as I was saying, I'm going to go after the Sword of Excalibur, or the Sword of King Arthur Excalibur, because it's really good to plunk right in the middle of your laboratory to keep the smarts of your scientists and stuff higher. But I really see no need to go after the samurai armor. I've already got the 4 pieces I need. That's actually really loud. You gotta be fracking kidding me! We gotta send Jubei back to base. He's needed. Okay, so I got the 4 things. Now all I'm going to do is steal 10,000 for 5 minutes. I'll worry about that later. Now I have to recoup my losses. Train up some more minions. Okay, one more thing I should mention now. The 3 Doomsday device pieces that I haven't gotten yet. See, how it works is you start with 3. 3 are agents in your island, and 3 are acts of infamy on the map. So I haven't found them yet, but one of them is in Australia. One of them is in Cuba. and one of them is in North Africa. Right now, my number one priority is to take this scientist and interrogate him and get some science minions. I also want to capture this guy here. I'm going to go ahead and send 10 guys to go do that. No, I could do the Playboy too. I need 6 workers. To do that while these guys are trying to plot out where the sort of Excalibur is. And that'll give me my next tier of minions: the spin doctors, the scientists, and the mercenaries. Now, one thing I would recommend doing before actually moving to your second island would be to letting your global profile sink as low as it can before actually moving. I was thinking, I probably got Marianne and Mamba on me by now, don't I? It would appear not. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I think you have to get to 120 before she goes after you. Oh, found new research. Camera. So we know it's not that, because we already used that. And it's apparently not that, so we're going to use this. And that should give us our zoom lens camera. And then there's only one other camera upgrade, and it has to do with wait, where's my scientist? Ah, it didn't work. He didn't get the scientist. What happened? Ah, now I gotta capture another one. Sometimes watching research can be pretty interesting. By the way, all of the lab devices, with the exception of the databank and the research machine, can be used as torture devices. Da-da-da. And that's how research gets done. Since they have the combined ability to steal over 10,000, might as well just do it and get my my 10,000k done now. Assuming not too many of them die, that is. Why is nobody moving this body bay yet? It's kind of funny these Asians hadn't noticed the body bay standing beside them. Spin Doctor. This is what we want. Because we got Spin Doctor going right over here. Honestly, how hard is it to move a frickin' body bag? As soon as Max gets his fat ass out of the chair, I can have him make it a higher priority. They must work harder. Now, the one I just did should get me my nuclear power plant, which is the mercury mirror plus the laser. Okay, let's just get rid of these guys. We'll find the thing later.
None of the kidnap victims have been heard of again, and no ransom demands have been made. It is believed that they may have been exploited in some evil training scheme.
Oh, I'm getting my bodyguard.
Faster, faster, faster.
Well, apparently I did train a scientist, but apparently he had died.
General Gunfleet of the Patriot Council has today issued a warning to all American citizens after the recent string of kidnappings. The general urged all citizens to take basic self-preservation measures, such as not accepting candy from strangers. And now the weather.
Of course, now I lost my cash flow, but that's okay. I can do that later, it's not that big a deal. Cash flow is easy enough to do. Somebody still hasn't moved that body bag. It's just gonna decay there soon. Oh, the multimedia education zone. There's my first bodyguard. Oh, bodyguard? Yeah, horrible. Don't even bother really using them. Well, you have no choice. They kind of just come. But you can get a total of 2 of them throughout the entire game, but they're completely useless. They take a single hit and they pretty much go down. Hello. Goodbye. One thing I like about henchmen, as you can see Jubei is doing, is they actually can heal their own stats. It looks like he's cutting his wrist, but he's really just sharpening his blade. He's not emo. Oh, really? Never saw you guys. Well, considering we got no one out on the world map at this moment, we're going to go ahead and shut this room down temporarily. Boop. That'll give me a little extra manpower on the rest of my base. zoom lens camera here. Go back to level 1. And this camera here can be destroyed. And there's my first spin doctor. And there's my first mercenary. But since I apparently lost my scientist, I'm going to have to go get a scientist again. Big mistake there, cheeky poo. Told ya. Now, honestly, guys, I'm getting a little tired of this for now, so I'm gonna call it a break time for my my walkthrough. I'll probably come back to it later tonight. I want to at least be ready to get off of the island by the end of the day, so I'll get back to recording soon. First things first, let's save.